Well, that's an absolute disaster scenario for the Arsenal today. Draw against Brighton at home. Chris Kavanagh once again making himself the talking point of a game and of an Arsenal game at that. It's getting very boring already. 3 games into the season, we saw last week that Joel Linton tackled a clothesline. I'm not sure what to call it. I'm not even going to get into the amount of decisions we've had, not just Arsenal, across the Premier League teams. The disallowed goal at Bournemouth, I thought, was completely ass backwards. Let's just get into the game overall. I think Brighton, certainly a very good team. They're playing very good football under their manager. They're a very young manager. They have yet to lose a game as well. They were top of the Premier League. I know, obviously, 3 games into the season doesn't say a whole lot, but certainly Brighton, sort of Mikel Arteta's kryptonite. I think I saw a stat that they've lost. I think they've lost just one more game than they've won against Arsenal in the past. I'm not quite sure how many years. I think maybe since Mikel took over at Arsenal. Certainly a good team. Obviously, they beat Manchester United the other week. And look, I went into this game thinking it's going to be difficult. We got the game early on from Havertz, a very, very good finish. Didn't see the praise, by the way, that I saw for Cole Palmer, who scored, almost exactly the same goal. But we'll let that slide too. Of course, everyone knows Havertz is not a good player. He's a bad player. Everybody knows that as a fact. So when he scores a very good goal like that, best not to say anything at all. So look, let me just get right into the situation with Chris Kavanagh. Like I said just a few moments ago, it's very, very boring to have to have this discussion time and time again. Obviously we didn't lose the game. Who knows if we would have gone on and won, maybe scored another goal or finished the game 1-0. Who knows? I'm not willing to play the game of what ifs. But from the standpoint of, where the game changed because of this Declan Rice red card, this is the same referee who didn't send off Joel Linton the other week for clotheslining that player in the box. A yellow card for that. I mean, talk about violent offenses. And yet again, like the Tomiyasu red card last season at Crystal Palace, the double yellow card that Martinelli received a couple of years ago from Michael Oliver. This is an example. We will never see this again now in the Premier League. It's done. They'll have it, and they go, you know what? Hey, we'll get a discussion, and the referees and people at Sky Sports will back them and say it's the correct decision. And yet we know as football fans that it's completely ass backwards. There's no way that should have been a sending off for Declan Rice. So many things played into that, the buildup of that red card. You could ask, was it even a foul from Declan Rice? I don't think it was. I thought Veltman threw himself to the ground. Two guys fighting for the ball in the Brighton half, goes down, and you see Veltman kick the ball ahead. So if Chris Kavanagh had any balls, he would have immediately blew the whistle and said, take the free kick back there, like you see all the time, right? You see that every game almost. You see that a player trying to cheat, get a little more, not cheat, but trying to cheat a little more space. They want to push the ball up a little bit more. You see time and time again, referees will blow the whistle for that, tell them to go back. You see people with trying to throw in the ball, inching and inching and inching, and the referee will blow his whistle, tell him to move back to where the throw-in is, to where the foul should be. And yet he did nothing. Kicks the ball into Declan Rice. He has a tiny, tiny toe poke. And don't get me wrong, I'm not even pretending like he didn't know what he was doing. Of course Declan Rice did know what he was doing. But any referee with a sense of honor or some sort of control over their own emotions could have easily just gone over and said, okay, you don't kick the ball away again. You, Veltman, put the ball back to where the foul was, and let's get on with it. You're two men. Let's not dick around like this. Get on with the game. But he just changes the game and shrugs as if he had no other choice, as if he couldn't be a man, go over to the two players, give them a talking to. Yes, Rice is already booked, but again, we want consistency. João Pedro booted the ball, absolutely smashed it away, right on the halfway of the pitch, and nothing happened. You saw Mikel raise his arms, Ortega threw his arms up, Gabriel threw his arms up, no booking for that. And yet, here we are again, complaining about referees. Now, if we would have lost that game, I would have been furious. And we did, we dropped 2 points. No one wants to drop 2 points, but you can't even drop points in peace anymore because you have to go back and ask yourself why this referee or any referee cannot either be man enough, have the balls to go and talk to these players. They have to make it about themselves, and the arrogance in Chris Kavanaugh to go and shrug. I had no other choice. It's pathetic. It really, really is pathetic. And the tribalism in football in these clubs, you see, and don't get me wrong, Arsenal fans do the exact same thing. If this was a Spurs player, James Maddison had done that same exact situation, I would be saying the exact same thing, and I would be defending James Maddison. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I just said, Rice knew what he was doing, but so did Veltman. Okay, I mean, give me a break. He kicks Declan Rice right in the leg. He knew the ball was going to be poked away. He throws his arms up immediately. These guys aren't actors, okay? I don't know how no one else can see through it, but the intention was there from both of them to do what they did. And the fact that nothing came of it, the ball was rolling when when Rice poked it away. So that's 2 occasions where the whistle should have been blown anyway. The free kick shouldn't have been taken there, should have been pushed back because Veltman kicked the ball forward, kicked it into Rice, and the ball was moving, so the free kick shouldn't have mattered anyway. So it should have been completely null. Chris Kavanaugh should have pulled the 2 aside, said, look, that's enough, you're already on a booking. Would you really want to get sent off for something as silly as this? But he goes and does it anyway. And we saw this, the quote circulating, what's his name now? Howard Webb. About the the Chelsea City game last season? Was it where Kovacic, or maybe it was against Arsenal? I can't remember. The quote was, it's in my thumbnail. The quote was, I can't remember what it was. Something about integrity. Doesn't want the integrity of the game. Now, where is that applying for this game? It's not applying. So again, consistency. When will we ever get it? Probably never. People want to blame VAR and blah blah blah. The VAR, this is not some AI god system. It's the people working for it. It's the jackass who forgot to draw the offsides line, whatever it was, two years ago or so. It's the jackass who thought that wasn't a push on Gabriel against Newcastle. Now, I can't think of all the other ones other than the ones I mentioned earlier in this video, like the Bournemouth goal that was disallowed this season. I can't watch and remember every other team, every other incident that should have or should not have been, people I see on Twitter quoting the handball on Odegaard against Liverpool. Yeah, it was a handball. But, 2 wrongs don't make a who cares. And this is going to continue to happen until people and fans of all teams can just get together and say, look, give us the correct call. Let us lose in peace. At least, back before VAR, you would see a replay and you go, you know what, the referee, how's he got that wrong? He's totally offsides. He's gone on. He's won the game. And you just had to eat it. But now you have a system, VAR, that's supposed to be implemented to completely, to get the correct call. And how many times does it get the correct call? Barely. I mean, honestly, barely. Whether it's something slowed down too much or that something's taken out of context, whatever it may be, it is infuriating every single game to have to bitch and moan about referees not doing a proper job. And again, I would love to have lost, to lose a game in peace, to drop points in peace. Brighton are a good side. I've said that many times already in this video. But it's the referees, time and time again, that can't do the simplest things. These are humans, these guys. They're not AI, or they're not robots. And yet they act like they have to make these decisions. Again, the shrug. Chris Kavanaugh shrugging like he had no other choice to make. I'm dumbfounded time and time again, every single week. And this won't be the last one this week. There's still games to play. I haven't even, touched anything on Twitter in the last 2 or 3 hours. Games tomorrow, I'm sure there's going to be another decision that people are up in arms about. And this cycle of football tribalism and look at Arsenal, they're crying. And Arsenal fans say that to Chelsea fans and Chelsea United. And it's just one big shit show of all these losers looking for interactions and likes on Twitter. And no one really gives a shit until it happens to their team. But when it happens to their team, now they're the ones being mocked and laughed at. And it's just boring. It's just boring, plain and simple. So look, it's a ranty. That's it for me. I'm going to end the video here. I didn't even look at any of my notes, but I somehow managed to split all of those out. Look, thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I do really appreciate it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit me up on Twitter. That's in the bio down below. Leave a comment, leave a like. Just what can be done? What can be done to make losing with peace a possibility. So again, thanks very much, guys, for watching. I'll see you when I see you.